China's globally popular camera apps may open up user data to Beijing requests. Chinese companies are behind some of the most popular photo and video apps around the world. That may mean vast concerns are on the rise globally about internet privacy, security and data protection, and China's mobile In fact, Robin Li, the billionaire CEO of tech giant Baidu, sparked last year when he said Chinese people are. The recent overnight popularity of Russian face apps aging feature evoked some worries about the app's CEO, but unlike Face app, some of China's biggest camera apps explicitly state in their privacy agreements that they provide data to third parties. It remains unclear. China isn't lawless when it comes to cybersecurity. In fact, in May this year, Beijing to punish companies who breach privacy agreements. Still, China employs vague language, Sachs said, and those laws are enforced. Government control is the salient point in China's approach to regulating digital businesses, experts told CNBC. In fact, if that is, the data privacy situation in China isn't illegal. Even one of China's most well-known tech companies, Tencent, was ambiguous on the issue. It wrote in its when asked by CNBC whether the wording in its privacy policy means Tencent developed apps provide user data to authorities, a company spokesperson simply said no. Miller said language like Tencent's policy is, as long as an app is developed by a Chinese company, even if the user lives abroad or the company is registered overseas, it will fall under the country's cybersecurity laws, and therefore will be subject to Beijing's requests, according to an attorney at Harris Bricken. Chinese photo editing app, which means beautify. According to, it collects personal details such as names, genders, locations, types of devices, and even what network operators are used. The company wrote to CNBC it only uploads user information to the cloud with expressed. When asked for how long the company retains user information, Meitu responded by saying that its retention. After repeated inquiries from CNBC, Meitu declined to deny it would ever share data with the Chinese government, instead saying that, as of now, it had not done so. Meitu. Meanwhile, the most downloaded non-game app worldwide, TikTok also has ties to China. The app was originally developed by the International, a spokesperson for the company, said the app neither. Still, TikTok's 2018 privacy policy said the company can transfer international users' data to China, according to the company. It now says, Sachs said ByteDance goes to great lengths to separate TikTok as an international operation. But content there. But Miller holds his skepticism. In reality, TikTok has been installed by more than 1.1 billion users globally excluding China, and has grossed $80 million from in-app purchases, according to April figures from app data tracking company Sensor Tower. CNBC's Wendy Ye contributed to this report.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.